Hello and welcome to the history of Onslaught. Onslaught was a sentient psionic entity created from the consciousness of two mutants, Professor Charles Xavier and Magneto. During a battle between the X-Men and Magneto's acolytes, Xavier used his telepathic powers to shut down Magneto's mind, rendering him catatonic. During the psionic contact, Magneto's anger, grief, and lust for vengeance entered Xavier's consciousness, commingling with every long-suspected negative feeling Xavier has ever endured for the past 30 years. This aggression resulted in being known as Onslaught. Onslaught remained dormant for some time. Gradually, Xavier's frustration with his dream of mutant-human harmony began to increase. Exacerbated by the daily growth of anti-mutant hysteria, the deaths of dozens of mutants from the lethal legacy virus, and his own failed attempts to rehabilitate the mutant sociopath called Sabretooth, Xavier reached his breaking point when the anti-mutant humans killed a young mutant near the grounds of Xavier's Institute for Higher Learning, the secret base of the X-Men. It was at this point that Onslaught awakened within Xavier and began to manifest himself in others. Following an encounter with the mystically empowered criminal called Juggernaut, Onslaught invaded a government-sanctioned Sentinel base. He downloaded the current specifications for the mutant hunting androids and erased portions of memories from the employees working in the factory. Soon after, while hiding in Xavier's mind, Onslaught encountered the telepathic telekinesis X-Men. He pulled the professor's body from the astral plane, a feat never before achieved. Through the X-Men's actions, Onslaught was able to escape Xavier's mind and move independently. After taking full possession of the professor's mind and body, Onslaught as Xavier called together the X-Men. When they resisted his plan to turn them into soldiers fighting a total war against humans, Onslaught revealed himself to the X-Men and attempted to destroy the outlaw adventurers. The time-tossed mutant soldier called Bishop remembered childhood stories of a traitor betraying and killing the X-Men. Began to realize that that guilty party was Xavier as Onslaught. Bishop rescued his teammates. Taking Xavier's body with him, Onslaught escaped. Once freed, Onslaught created a childlike psionic projection named Charles to gain the trust of young Franklin Richards, a mutant possessing the latent power to alter reality. Onslaught succeeded in capturing the child despite a rescue attempt by Franklin's parents, Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman, members of the super team known as the Fantastic Four. Now carrying Franklin and Xavier, Onslaught captured the X-Men, intending to use his new raw psionic power to fuel Onslaught's plans to transform the human race into a collective consciousness. Onslaught returned to New York, reprogramming the Sentinel bodies to obey his commands and form a protective circle around Manhattan, sealing off the island from the rest of the world. The X-Men, the Fantastic Four, and the Avengers, Earth's mightiest heroes, challenged Onslaught. The first confrontation with the entity and his minions resulted in the rescue of a now powerless Xavier, who retained his usual benevolent personality. Onslaught now existed as a psionic energy contained within his armor. A second failed confrontation occurred at his Central Park Citadel. After a number of attempts to free Franklin and the X-Men from Onslaught's seemingly impervious armor, the heroes regrouped. During their next assault, Jean Grey used her telepathy to turn off the part in the monster Hulk's mind that contained the rationality of his alter ego, Dr. Bruce Banner. The now savage Hulk possessed a near-animal intelligence and unbelievable strength, battled Onslaught, and tore his armor apart. The resulting explosion of psionic energy separated Banner and the Hulk, and Onslaught was left as an energy being, immune to most physical harm. Onslaught then used Franklin's power to create a second sun that would destroy the heroes and Manhattan. The Avenger, known as Thor, Asgardian god of thunder, master of storm and lightning, flew into the energy being, disrupting Onslaught's form. Realizing that Thor's efforts were alone and insufficient to destroy their adversary, the non-mutant members of the Avengers and the Fantastic Four entered the energy field. The X-Men were unable to do likewise, as it was theorized that if Onslaught, a being of mutant origin, came to possess a mutant host, he would be unstoppable. Onslaught dissolved, seemingly destroyed, along with the heroes who had thrown themselves into the rift. The remaining Sentinels were disabled, Franklin and the X-Men were rescued, and Manhattan was returned to normal. Later it was revealed that the Avengers and the Fantastic Four did not die, as had been surmised. Rather, the heroes were reborn in a pocket universe created by Franklin. The Avengers and the Fantastic Four returned to their rightful homes months later, possessing only hazy memories of their time on Counter-Earth. Onslaught reborn. Following the Scarlet Witch's proclamation of no more mutants, and the subsequent dispowering of most of Earth's mutants, a large mass of energy was released into space. After awakening Vulcan and Darwin, and being controlled by Shin Zorn, the ball of energy returned to Earth a second time, and gained physical form as a recombined Onslaught, immediately seeking out Franklin Richards, and failing to kill him through mind-controlled Human Torch and Reed Richards. Onslaught quickly cornered the child in his bedroom, where Franklin once again used a small sphere to trap Onslaught's essence, but instead sucked both himself and Onslaught back to Earth he created to send his parents. While Onslaught's plans involved ridding himself of Franklin, his future goals are still unknown. Thank you for watching the History of Onslaught. Special thanks to X-Men Wiki for all information you heard today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you can. If you have, thank you. And have a nice day. Bye-bye.